Hello and welcome to Life is Magical podcast. I'm your host, Srimanju Ka-tra-gadda, intuitive healer, Akashic Records reader, Hay House author of Connect Your Inner Guidebook, and who believes in experiencing healing and life is magical. Through this show, I'll be sharing my toolbox, which is full of life hacks, tips for rainy days, ways to hold our connections with the inner guide, and much more fun things. Let us begin this journey. Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome back to this podcast, Life is Magical, and I'm Srimanju Katragadda, bringing you with episode 9 Tools and Techniques to Raise Your Vibrations. In this podcast, I'm going to share some of the very easy tools that you can raise your vibrations if you're feeling a bit low energies or not in a great mood, and how you can shift and be in the upbeat, quick, and achievable. That's the most important thing. And most of these tools I have brought in my practice of spirituality. For the past 12 years, I have tested them, tried them millions of times, and they all work. And it's amazing. Anything that is fast and quick, I love to take on and use it. So here I'm sharing loads of them. So have your journal and a pen handy so you can write them down, because there are loads of them. I didn't even pick the number here as I was thinking about like what I need to share, so yes, do bring it up and you can pause, listen to it and take notes. All right, I think it's even better if you grab some tea or just wind yourself down and sit back and relax. So energy, as we all know, it's a subtle vibrations, but it moves so quickly, and energy is alive, right? It moves. Today I might feel great, and later in the evening I might feel a bit tired as well. So energy keeps changing because it's so having prana in it. And as Albert Einstein says, everything in life is vibration. And the more that we change into the better vibrations, the better we feel as well. The feel good or feel lighter is what we are aiming for. And think about it, when you're vibrating at a higher level, you will feel lighter, happier, and more at ease. But when you feel lower vibrations, you'll feel heavy, dark, and confused. Now, do you know where I'm going with this? Do you recognize both the yin and yang side of the energies? Have you ever felt lighter, happier? Definitely. When I'm on holidays, I do feel that. And do you recognize the lower vibration feels? Sometimes in the winter month, especially, I do feel that, where I just want to snuggle up and be in the duvet and do nothing. Nothing motivates me. Even though I have loads of stuff to do, nothing motivates me. So there are some tips for those days, yeah. There are good vibes and bad vibes, and we all recognize them. Could be an event that leads it to, or it could be some other past trauma that can come back, or an episode of a relationship that might be coming back, and we'll feel those energy changes, yeah. And recognizing them, the patterns, or when it's happening, how long it's staying for, that is the most important part of this process. Some people can be in a low vibe for months or even years. We don't even recognize it. But whereas some people can bounce back, or they might be having a smiley face and don't even acknowledge they are in a low vibe, And definitely, when you recognize them, you want to be in a better vibe, or good vibes where the people are projecting it out as well. And sometimes it's your own intuition feeling oh, this is a bad vibe. I'm not feeling good. I don't want to go here, or I don't want to go to a particular restaurant, or I don't want to go on a freeway. It's so important to acknowledge them, listen to those bad vibes as well. And where you feel the good vibes is all about feeling happy. The butterfly feel, good feel, oh, something exciting is going to happen, even though practically there is nothing that you see, but you do project there is something bigger happening up, yeah. And sometimes we do recognize them by saying, like, I know that was going to happen, or I should have just listened to myself. Did you ever feel that kind of a changes, or you say to yourself? Those are the vibes we are talking here. Yeah. And having those good vibes, one of the basic things that I have figured out is having a daily spiritual practices. That's the most important thing. When I say daily spiritual practices, DSP is about, like, you are grounding yourself, or you're doing Reiki on yourself, or you are listening to some music, dancing. Do you do Tai Chi? Anything that you're doing consistently every single day. Or you might have a particular ritual that you turn up to and you do as well, So those are the ones that I'm going to refer here. And having most important thing, that is the most important thing, to build your stamina towards the energy resistance. Yeah. And it's not like, I'm just going to do for 10 days. That's it. Forget about it. No, this is a long-term project, a commitment that you absolutely love. So here, think about it. This is a deal for you, making a contract with yourself. What brings the joy? Which practice brings the joy? The last 12 years, 13 years, I have never given up practicing Reiki to me, because it brings joy to me. Some days I would do meditation, some days I may not do. But Reiki is one thing that I always turn up to and do it. So something like that, what inspires you? The next best thing I love is art. Every single day, I generally do sit down and do some art, at least for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, or it could be an hour, but something that really helps me to unwind and get into the flow. And that's my creative vibe. Maybe you might have something that you are trying to recollect what it is. So sit and think about it. What is that really inspiring you? And keep them consistent. Keep them consistent with a commitment. That's the most important thing. Don't ever overwhelm yourself knowing that, you need to do all of that, or oh my God, this is too much for me. But the intentions, that's the most important thing. Having those intentions around and making a commitment. Yeah. And either you could fix your time, first thing in the morning, you love to do it, or in the afternoon, or in the evening. Yeah. But generally, sometimes, or majority of the times, having a spiritual practice in the morning is great, because you're setting a tone to your day, to your events that are welcomed into the day as well. Say, for example, you're waking up and doing some spiritual practice, you're in a good vibe, good mood, good energy. And so no matter what the day brings you, you're still going to be holding it all together. But if we wake up and feeling not great, and the day is taking charge of you rather than you taking charge of the day, by the evening you're so tired, and to turn up to your daily practice could be challenging, could be harder. So think about how you can do it. If you have young children, maybe try to wake up 10 minutes before they would wake up, or have a snooze, use the snooze time as well. And these can be only for 5-10 minutes, in the start of it. I used to do it, my Reiki practice, when my children were months and 2-year-old, between both of them. And last thing in the night, I used to do it as a Reiki self-healing for me. And slowly I tried to see the pattern when they are waking up. If they were waking up at 5:30 or 6, I would try to wake up 10 minutes before, still be in the bed, and do Reiki before they were waking up. Yeah. So when they would wake up, I'd be still fresh and attending to them. Yeah. Raising your vibrations, here it's about moving into a place that's filled with unlimited potential. So there is that miracle portal that you're opening up and you're visiting in, think about that way, rather than a chore or a duty to be done or to do as well. And think about as you're opening up that magic potion, you are welcoming those miracles. And it's just that your vibe. your spirit is so high, things flow better. You're consistent with your moods, you're upbeat in your life, new ideas will be flowing in, you'll be feeling inspired as well to do many great things, all that your to-do list, you will see that, oh, you have been checking in, and they have been in a good place as well. Yeah, so that's one of the great things about it. And you become more kind as well when you are in a good mood, because you will be in a joyful situation, and things come around you, you'll be so kind that you're taking in the present moment, and you expand your heart and you commit to the things that really make a change. And also, being kind is about being positive thoughts as well. It's easier for those thoughts to flow in, and you won't be sitting and thinking about your limiting beliefs, but actually you'll be thinking about, hey, what are my fears, how do I turn them into my fuel? That's the most important thing. You'll be shifting and energizing yourself. Yeah. One of the great things, how you can raise your vibration is, if you're not in the vibe itself, you can think about what are your positive thoughts, where do you hold great memories, for me it's about the pictures of the children, or happy holidays that we had it. So I would have a screensaver of them, or some pictures up on the wall that will be, I'll be looking at it, and that will remind me of good times that I had in the past. Again, that shifts in, it's not that I'm always sulking. That definitely we all had our positive spaces. You just need to tap into that and bring those out more loudly that you can see it. And literally, we have like a huge canvases of the family portraits smiling in our living room, and that makes me, this is a great time I had it. I need to feel good about things. There is definitely a reason I'm not feeling good, but I need to acknowledge this and then move forward, because being in that space, there is nothing absolutely moving. It's like a pause button in our life. So my ultimate goal is to move forward, and having those positive frames, positive thoughts around can help and shift. And I do have some decals around the house which has a positive words, that I'll be reading, or my family would be reading, or anyone that comes around the house will be reading, and it's just shift in, new ideas will be coming in. Yeah. And the same happens with the affirmations as well. Affirmations are great tool that you can just chant them or read them, and that will shift in as well. Right in front of me there are a couple of affirmations I'm going to read out to you. I love and accept me for me. I love and accept me for me. It is my birthright to live fully and freely. It's my birthright to live fully and freely. I deserve to enjoy life and its pleasures. I deserve to enjoy life and its pleasures. So these are the affirmations that I'm seeing as I'm recording this podcast. So I'll be changing them. These are only sticky notes or decals that you can have, and you change them around and you'll be inspired constantly. My biggest thing is gratitude. Gratitude is a way to life, and when you are feeling grateful, you just can't feel low, because you have so much to be thankful for. And that is an amazing, amazing gift. When you're thinking about the praises, you just can't think about the low points. When you're saying, I thank you for having a wonderful home, you just can't go and think about what you don't have. And that is the true balance, and that's the true inside out emotions, feelings coming out and saying it out loud. Yeah. Through service, we are raising our vibrations because we are offering, and whatever kindness we feel or whatever blessings we receive to others. Yeah. So being grateful and also offering your services, that's the most important thing. And think about, what is that you have within you that you're grateful for, and you can pass it on to others? And that's the most important thing to remember and pass it on. I love remembering dates, birthday dates of my friends, children, my friends as well. And I do love to send them a happy birthday message to them, then that makes me so good. Like, it just, it's me. I do it even though they feel it or not. It's just me. I love to remind them, hey, I know about you. I remember you. Hey, have a good time. Like, So think about what is that you are grateful for, a quality that you have that you can use it. And just even think about right now as I'm talking, what are you grateful for? And 3 things recollect in your life right now that you're grateful for. There is another amazing thing, like, not only be grateful, the next thing is about blessing your food. The food is a fuel that we consume every single day, 3 times or 5 times. Like, you'd be eating, you'd be drinking water. Food is a fuel to your body, and as Louise Hay says, love your body, But the most important thing is, like, no matter where the food is coming, it's on your plate right now, bless it. Bless it and consume. I totally believe food is a carrier of energy. Someone cooks a meal with love, you consume it with love. Someone cooks it with anger, you consume that anger. So there is direct reflection of it. Like, it's always the case, like the regular places I go to. Some days I love the food, some days I don't feel, some days I just don't like the energy of the place even to step in. Like, there is so much happens like in a chef's life or a person who runs the place as well, and it directly reflects into the vibe of the whole ambience there. So no matter what, even if you cook at home, bless your food by saying, like, thank you for the food being on the table. I'm consuming this food and it's digesting well in my body. As simple as that. Like, my belly is digesting, I'm getting all the nutrients, vitamins from this wonderful food that I prepared. That's simple. Keep it very simple, but share your gratitude and bless the food. The next one is the salt baths. That's something I absolutely love it. I always say about like protection, energy cleanse, but also it's amazing how it works for raising our vibrations. Salt is the one thing that attracts all the negative energy and pulls away. Like, sometimes you would be feeling low vibe just because you have been latching on to the negative energies from the different places, people, or situations, like, and that is where it's been sitting on you, and now you're trying to shift in. Salt baths maybe include the Epsom salt, sea salt, or Himalayan pink salt. Some of my friends do the sea swim, which is a natural salt there, and afterward they feel so fresh because the salt has worked its magic on your skin and also on your energies. Yeah. So of course, if you're not into sea swims, try this in your tub, like, and if you don't have a tub, you can even imagine the salt water coming out of the shower, and that will be equally effective as well. Yeah, it's just whatever we visualize, our intention goes, the energy goes there. Another tip is to do yoga. And again, you might think, oh my god, where do I find an instructor? Like, get onto this Insight Timer app. Like, there are tons of free videos there. There are a lot of instructors who go live every day. You might catch one that you might enjoy with doing yoga, or get onto YouTube, anywhere. Like, there are tons of free resources. You literally don't need to go to a class, but of course I would recommend, because I love doing yoga in a class with people. And what yoga does is moves through our chakras, our energy system, and shifts and brings in more of a calmness and a flow of it. There is, once you consistently do, you will feel your energy is moving freely, and that keeps you a consistent raising your vibrations as well. Have a date with yourself. I love this idea. When I first read about it in Big Magic, a book by Liz Gilbert, I would highly recommend that book to be read, Big Magic. In that she says, like, if you feel a block or creative flow is not happening, have a date night with yourself. Like, sneak out of the bedroom, sneak out into your other room, and do what inspires, what you love about it, and that way you're just bringing a little practice to your soul, which is going to be a fun one. Yeah. So do think about, like, what you did when you were going on your first dates, and bring those energies back. Feel that, like, you're cheating to yourself, but you're having a little fun time. That's a good practice to do. I have done it. I love it. Like, it's just like a little sneak out and do something you really love it. And think about, what are your intuitions saying? Your intuitions will always be right if you are listening to it. Around, like, hey, what does my intuition say right now? Is this a good thing or it's a bad thing? What should I do here? You will be recognizing those good vibes and bad vibes, especially those bad vibes. Your inner self always knows the truth. So just anchor and listen to that part. And in the course of miracle, it says, the Holy Spirit's voice is as loud as your willingness to listen. So if your intention or your spirit speaking to you is saying in a low voice, definitely easier to listen. But sometimes our ego mind will be so loud that your spirit voice is loud too, that you can't hear it. And it's about how you quieten it and listen to that subtle voices. That's the most important thing. And trust yourself. As my previous episode was about, like, just for today, trust yourself here. Hey, just for today, trust yourself, like, and you will feel, hey, you'll move quickly out of your low vibe situations here. And I said, like, that date night or date evening or date morning, that brings the self-love. Like, when you love yourself, you're going to love yourself even in those rough, patchy moments. Yeah, you won't abandon yourself. You'll be bringing yourself together and be whole. And that's the best feel, like, or visualize your heart center opening up, and that heart center is pouring so much of a love, and also that brings the kindness, and able to welcome people, and able to forgive yourself for the past things, and forgive the situations or people around as well. But that forgiveness comes only when you're loving yourself unconditionally, inside out. Yeah, definitely that forgiveness makes it easier. And when you're less about holding regrets or holding the past memories way too much, you're going to be in a high beat, and that's the deal, like, and that's going to be much easier. But in the forgiveness, think about, like, who do you need to forgive, and what isn't serving you, and can you let it go even? And those are the questions you need to have a self inquiry to yourself to understand deeply. And forgiveness is choosing loving thoughts instead of difficult memories. And difficult memories are the ones that keep us in the low vibe. And when you have a loving thoughts, it's all about the love. And love is a high vibe. Definitely, when you love yourself, nothing else seems any fault. When you love yourself, you're going to love your stretch marks, you're going to love your freckles, and you're going to love your weird, wicked humor as well. Like, that's a given thing. Yeah. And it helps you to express your emotions. And when you're able to express your emotions, you'll feel very free. You will feel a lot more shifted and a lot more connected to yourself. Yeah. And another way to raise your vibration is by music. And especially when you are in the low moment, the music that you would need is a high vibe, like something fast, something loud as well, something where your body will automatically move to the music. And that's for me done deal. Like, when I'm in that low moment, the slow music doesn't do anything. So check out what is your favorite. Have a playlist handy so you can move around, like, depending on your moods as well, like, and that's the most important thing. If nothing else sticks to you, you can even do the mantra meditation. Like, that's definitely shift the energy of our mantras. So think about, like, Om or Gayatri mantra or Om Namah Shivaya or Buddhist mantras. And also Tibetan mantras. These are great. Like mantras, what it does is these are not the normal vocabulary words, so they help us to be in the present, and there is energy with each mantra that you will feel a shift in the vibration. And music leads to the dance from your soul. That's the most important thing. And when you dance from the soul, you'll feel so good, so shifty, and so loving as well. Yeah, isn't it? Like the music and the dance, they are the best portals to go within and explore yourself. So yeah, when you dance, it's just like yoga. There is no more stagnant energies around you. Everything is more free, more out of the stagnance, more in flow with the universe. And when things are in flow with the universe, you accomplish so much in your life. And here is a little thing that I do. If I would have tried or I would have felt doing any of it, I would do it first thing first. But yet you might have a little feel that no, these are not helping me. These didn't do anything to me. So what you can do in that situation is make a contract with your partner, with your family members or a friend, or with yourself. What is that I want to do the next? For me, I made a contract with my husband. If I feel still low after doing all these things, please take me for a ride around the nature. Could be the lake, could be the forest, or through the hills, anywhere that my favorite spots are there. Please take me, and please help me to get out of the house. So that is my contract with my partner, with my husband, to get me out of it. So having that, what happens is like you're seeking for help rather than being in that spot for too long. Yes, one thing we need to agree is if our mental health is not in a great place, we need to have a soul tribe whom we can commit to and share our emotions and feelings. You can find your soul tribe by talking to the like-minded people, or having those groups as well, like in different social media places you might find those groups, and be connected, and those soul tribes will help you to shift the energies. And with that, I'm going to hold the thoughts there, because there is a lot that has been shared. I think I might do another episode of it, part 2 of the Raise Your Vibration tools, because there's loads more that I can share here. So with that, consume them and see which one you are feeling guided to, and practice them. Most important is practice them and see which are your favorite ones, and then you can shift or bring in other ones as well, or leave some for now, and you can always recollect them later or re-listen to this episode and make further notes. But definitely your intention is to move from bad vibes to good vibes, or low energies to higher energies. And that's the most important thing. And you can do it because I have done it with these simple tools. And they're super easy. They need not be complicated. And it's just practicing them and finding your favorite ones. With that, I'm just going to pause here and continue into the part 2. And if you liked it or you stayed till the end, I'm so grateful for you being part of this journey, staying here. And thank you for listening in. And please do leave a review or a comment, and do let me know what inspired you and what are your takes. And do like and share. Sharing is caring. That will help me to spread my work, and also to reach to other tribe who would love to listen to this. If you think your friend might enjoy it, please share this episode. And I'm so grateful for you guys for being part of this journey. Thank you. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Thank you so much for listening in. Thank you all for listening in and tuning in to the podcast Life is Magical. I hope you found some good nuggets to move through this week. Want to ask a question? Please email me, or stay connected if something resonated or found useful and helpful from this podcast. I love to hear back from you. My email is info@srimanju.com. That is SRIMANJU, which is in the show notes below. Until next week, namaste and good day. Happy magic. Love to you all. Thank you for listening in.